Hello and welcome to the first video for the Year 7 Festival project that you're going to be doing. It's a series of videos that will help you with this project. But before we start, what I need you to do is to make sure that you've got the screen in front, like the screen loaded up properly. So if you can go to Google Classroom for me, go to your class, go to the festival assessment, and it should look something like this. You should have in the corner your docs or a Google document that you're going to do most of the work on. There'll be a Google Slides presentation, which I'm going to show you, which you can refer back to. And there'll be some YouTube videos here that help you and teach you through what you need to be doing. Obviously, you're already watching the first one. So if you haven't got that screen there, can you please pause the video and then go to Google Classroom and get this loaded up. Welcome back. So you've now got Google Classroom, you've now got this in front of you. I'm going to talk you through and teach you the first part of the project that we're going to be working on. So, as I said, we're going to be working on a festival project, right? Researching festivals, creating your own one. And what we're trying to do is we're going to ask you to plan and advertise a brand new festival that's going to happen somewhere in Teesside. You're going to come up with a name, a unique selling point, so something different about your festival to make us want to go to it, and the logo. And if we've got time, we're going to look at the finances for it, we're going to create some adverts for it, and other things around the festival. Now, hopefully, you'll learn to use different software, a lot of different Google software, but also other software as well that we can throw in and do some things by hand if you need to as well. So we're going to start off with researching and looking at ideas for your festival. So by doing this, hopefully you're going to learn how to use correct tools and search information properly on the internet and get the correct information and the relevant information. You're going to analyze what you've done to find a gap in the festival market, because what you want to do is find a brand new idea that no one else has got, so lots and lots of people will come to your festival. And hopefully you're going to come up with 5, 6, 7, 10 ideas, and then you, and maybe help from parents and other people in your house, are going to come up with the most appropriate idea for your festival. But before we start coming up with your ideas and what you want to do, we're going to do some research around other festivals that already exist. So you're going to look at other festivals, maybe local ones and larger ones. So some examples could be Stockton International Riverside Festival that happens every year. That's not just a music festival, lots of arts happen and other things that would be worth looking at. One that you might have been to is a Middlesbrough Mela, right? You might have been there, a small local festival. And also some big ones you might want to look at. Radio 1 Big Weekend, which was at Stewart's Park last year, right? Or things like Glastonbury or Leeds or Reading. But it doesn't just have to be music festivals. There could be some food festivals that you want to look at, or some art festivals. So have a look around. Do some research. Type into Google festivals in Teesside or festivals in the Northeast and see what comes up and have a look at some of them. What you're going to have to try and find out is things like the price. So how much did it cost to go for a day or a weekend? Is it a camping one? Is it one where you just go for a day? What about the audience? Who is that festival going to be aimed at? Is it aimed at people your age? Is it aimed at certain adults, kids, whatever? And when you're doing your research, try and get some different festivals as well and different audiences so you're not all going for the same one. Right? And you're going to create a grid in your booklet. And I'm going to show you that in a minute, right? And the more detail you research, the more things you find out about other festivals, the easier it's going to be to create your own festival. So, what I would like you to do is to go back to Google Classroom for me. On Google Classroom, can you load up your booklet from here, from this corner? So click on the Google Docs document and your festival booklet should open up in front of you. Right? Your internet might be a bit quicker than mine. Hopefully you get something that looks like this. And if you scroll down the booklet, mine's still loading up. Right, down we go. Right, you've got the introduction, which I've already talked about with you. And then a bit further down, you've got this topic 1 ideas. And this is the first thing that I want you doing, right? What I want you to do is to fill in this grid, but you can make it bigger because obviously if I start typing in it, right, there's a lot more space in there that you can use. So you might research a large music festival like Reading on the Radio 1 weekend. You might look at a family one, right? You don't even have to do these. You could delete that if you want, and instead of doing the folk one, you might actually do Stockton Riverside Festival as well. If I could spell, that would be good. and you could find out a little bit about that. There's space there for you to research 6 or 7 different festivals, right? So what your first task to do is to do that, and pause the video now while you get that done. Right, well done for doing the research. Your teacher will assess it when you hand it in later on in this project. Now you've done your research, it's time to come up with your own ideas for your festival, right? You've got to think about what you're going to do. So, what ideas have you got? It could be music, it could be something else, right? Think about who your audience is going to be. Who do you want to come along to your festival, right? On your booklet, there is a diagram that you can double click on, add lots and lots of ideas. Then what I want you to do is to filter it down to your 3 best ideas. What are the 3 really good ideas that you've got? And give me a little bit more information about those 3. And then lastly, I want you to select your final idea and tell me why you have picked that one. That's going to be your festival. That's going to be the one that you are going to work with. So you need to make sure that it's a sensible one, something that you're going to enjoy working with, and something that you think you can do advertising, create a logo for, and all of that. So again, if we go back to your booklet that looks something like this, you've got your festival ideas here. If you double click on the picture, it should open up and you can add different ideas. So I might add to this box here, I might add, one of my festival ideas might be a folk festival. So I can type in folk festival there. I might have another idea and I might want to do a little, I don't know, a food festival in Stockton. So I might call it a Stockton Food Festival. And you can come up with lots and lots and lots of different ideas. When you've done that, if you scroll down, right, give me your 3 best ideas and give me a little bit of information about each one, a bit more detail. So you might tell me your audiences, you might say things like what might be there, and then your final idea. What is your festival going to be about, and why have you picked for that idea? So that's the end of video 1. What you need to do, complete that diagram, get your 3 top ideas and your final idea done, and then you can move on to topic 2. Thank you for listening. If you need any help at all, email your teacher at their email address or email me, Mr. Day, at tday@nunthorpe.co.uk.